No one in the audience expected what was about to happen. Even the judges, who had seen thousands of performers, leaned forward without realizing it, sensing something different as the shy Filipino teen walked on stage. And if you're watching this right now, stay with me till the end, because what happened next didn't just shock the world, it broke Simon Cowell, the toughest judge on television, into tears. And before we dive into the moment that changed everything, don't forget to like this video and subscribe, because stories like this deserve to be heard. The studio lights warmed the stage as 16-year-old Marco Villanueva stepped forward, clutching the microphone like it was the only solid thing in his world. He wore a simple white shirt, faded jeans, and a silver locket hanging around his neck. His hands trembled, and when Simon raised an eyebrow, Marco's heart nearly stopped. He wasn't used to being seen. He wasn't used to people being interested in him at all. He took a breath, remembering the long nights at the small sorry store his family ran back home. His mother's voice echoed in his mind, soft, tired, but full of belief. "Anik, your voice will open doors. Even if our life stays small, don't let your dreams stay small." But she wasn't here anymore. And that locket he wore? Inside it was her last photo. Simon asked him gently, "Why are you here today?" Marco paused. He didn't want to break down before he even started, but something inside him cracked open. "Because this was her dream too," he whispered. The audience went silent. Marco didn't mention the rest, that they had lost his mother a year ago, that he had been ready to quit music, that this performance was his first step back into life. The music began, a soft piano intro, slow and aching. Marco closed his eyes, breathed in, and let the first note escape. It was clean. Fragile. Almost too soft. But then the second note came, and the third, and suddenly his voice lifted like a bird finally remembering it had wings. People gasped. The room shifted. His voice wasn't just good, it was soul-deep, cracked with emotion yet impossibly controlled. Every word carried hurt, hope, and a longing that felt too big for someone so young. He sang a tribute he wrote himself, a song about missing someone you loved so deeply that the world felt empty without them. As he reached the chorus, Marco's voice swelled with pain he had tried for months to hide. His hands trembled, but he didn't stop. Tears slipped down his cheek, but the notes stayed perfect. Every lyric was a confession, every breath a memory. Even Simon Cowell's expression changed. The famously unbreakable judge leaned back, his eyes narrowing, not in criticism but in awe. At first, he looked confused, like he couldn't understand why this performance was hitting so hard. Then his jaw tightened. His eyes glistened. And when Marco reached the bridge, a part he wrote in the hospital the night his mother passed, something inside Simon collapsed. He wiped his face. He looked away. He covered his mouth. Simon Cowell was crying. The audience rose to their feet before the song even ended. Some cried openly. Some held their hearts. No one had expected this quiet Filipino boy to deliver a performance so raw it felt like watching someone hand their soul to the world. When the final note faded, Marco lowered the mic and stood there breathing heavily, unsure of what he had done. The applause exploded like thunder. He blinked, overwhelmed, wiping his face as the judges struggled to compose themselves. Sofia Vergara pressed her hands against her chest. Heidi Klum clapped hard, tears streaking her cheeks. And Simon. Simon stood. He stood, walked toward Marco, and for a moment, the whole world held its breath. Simon's voice cracked as he spoke. "Marco. I don't say this lightly. That song, that voice. I don't think I've ever been moved like that on this stage." He paused, swallowing hard. "Your mother would be so proud. You honored her. And you touched all of us." Marco burst into tears. He covered his face, shaking, as the audience cheered even louder. Even Simon reached out and squeezed his shoulder, a simple gesture, but one loaded with warmth and respect. Then came the moment. The one Marco never even dared to imagine. Simon took a deep breath, looked at the golden buzzer in front of him, and without another word, slammed his hand down. The crowd erupted. Golden confetti burst into the air like 1,000 blessings falling all at once. Marco's knees gave way, and he sank to the floor, crying into his hands. Backstage, his father cried too. This man who had worked double shifts, sold old furniture, and sacrificed everything to get his son a plane ticket to America. As the confetti fell, Marco looked up, smiling through tears, feeling something he hadn't felt in a long time: hope. For the first time since losing his mother, he felt like he could breathe again. Like his voice wasn't just sound, it was purpose. And here's the truth behind stories like this: sometimes life breaks you so deeply that you think you'll never stand again. But there will always be a moment, small or big, that reminds you your story isn't over. Marco walked on that stage carrying grief, but he walked off carrying a future. If you're still watching, remember this: pain doesn't mean your journey stops. Sometimes it becomes the reason your journey begins. And if this story touched your heart even a little, don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Because more stories like this are waiting to inspire the world, maybe even yours.